Howdy there, I'm Joe and welcome to my 20th main video. This time I'll be reviewing the PSVR2 version of Cactus Cowboy, Plants at War, a first-person shooter that's for absolutely free. Yep, just download it and fight your way through a roughly 7 hours campaign for the price of no admission. But is it worth your time? First, let's get you pumped with a bit of story on Bug War 2.
Are you winning, son?
Sort of, Grandpa. It's new Call of Cactus, but sadly they don't make it in VR even though it would be much cooler.
I see. Well, it was a troublesome time. As you know, we used to share Cacti Island with the Bugs. We lived peacefully together until the day they decided that we should perish. At first we thought it was just a small separatist group when the capital Cactograt was attacked. It was time to act. The local forces were over instantly. So we had to reconquer the entire island from the mainland. You cannot imagine how gruesome the Bugs were against the civilians.
From now on, you will speak only when spoken to, and the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you Daisy Flowers understand that?
Yes, sir! Sergeant Cactus, sir!
Very good.
This aggression cannot stand. We have to fight back. Your first stop is the gun range, where you can try out a good portion but not all of the game's weapons. The gunplay is fully fleshed out, so you'll be manually reloading and cocking your guns. Pistols, hunting rifles, sniper rifles, shotguns, submachine guns, machine guns, rocket launchers, grenades, it's all here, and you either holster them to your belt or to your back. You'll even be arming huge artillery guns for some extra heavy hits. Mortars and mounted machine guns are also a common sight, so gun variety doesn't disappoint at all. Let's ship out.
We've never been more ready than now! Are you prepared to die today, my Cacti comrades?
You cannot be serious.
Today is the day! We should kick some bugs in the butt!
It's Sea Day on the shores of Cacti Island.
We need to destroy your food. Get order grenades and blow them to pieces.
Drive back the Bugs.
Storm the front, boys! For the honor and glory of Cacti Island!
It's all-out war! The graphics are simplistic to the max, but I kinda dig it. But let's talk about my first major gripe with this game, and I have three. When you get hit, the enemies and your weapon blink out of existence. Looks distracting and wrong in big firefights, like a graphical glitch. See what I mean? No idea why. Anyway, back to Sea Day.
Why are you even trying?
Let's clear out some bunkers, which isn't too hard as the enemies are dumb as fuck. Well, at least in this scene. Some will take cover later in the game, but for the most part, the AI doesn't do tactics and just tries to storm you, which is fine by me. So, the game is divided into 8 chapters with several checkpoints each, and like I mentioned in the beginning, surprisingly long for a free game. Let's observe typical gameplay in a not too busy shootout and walk right into an ambush. Since you can see the enemy fire, it's fairly easy to dodge or sidestep it. This tactic will fail you in busy combat situations, however, but is generally quite satisfying. Explosive barrels, don't you just love them? Out of ammo, so better find some cover and reload. These brain-dead worms keep shooting air though. I guess they don't have to worry about their ammo stock. You'll encounter flying enemies too. Say hello and goodbye to the kamikaze bomberbee. Speaking of enemies, here's the full rundown, excluding the few large boss encounters. Wow, these models would look right at home on a 32X or something, but they're not without charm. I mean, Lutz Reibenschneider and Jörg Rattenschmidt? Yeah, well, Gesundheit, I guess. Ah, here I'm trying to pick up a rifle from the ground. Grabbed my pistol instead. Got it out of the way with my left hand and picked up the rifle just fine. After getting used to it later in the game, I didn't have these problems anymore though. Pressed the wrong button and dropped it. In the beginning of the campaign, the holster used to get in my way a lot and everything felt a bit cumbersome. But once you figure it all out, it actually isn't. You can even pick up guns by just placing your holster over them. Him or me? Him. Let me show you how you regain health in this game. No health packs, actually something much better. Good old trusty nurse Schwester Helga. You usually find her multiple times on the map.
Schwester Helga to the rescue. If you ever get hurt, come see me.
She will fully restore your health as often as you like. Maybe the Bugs should have paid her a visit too. Look at all this carnage, body parts everywhere. You do come across some nice vistas and locales in this game.
Holy shit! Take cover!
I mean, if you don't mind the super low poly art style, that is. But stage variety is actually pretty good. Hills, farms, city streets, prison and factory interiors, it's all coming up in this video.
OMG, here they come. Time to go to battle with my new cactus brother.
You got that right, buddy. When you die, there's this nice little lost and found box with your previous loadout. Grab your guns and don't forget the grenades. As you'll see, I've improved my skills and pick up things from the ground like a pro now. Yay! Let's secure a vantage point. Picking up ammo on my way up. This game even has climbing. Just let us though. If you want more, play Horizon Call of the Mountain instead. Chapter 4 was truly nerve-wracking for me though.
Here goes nothing.
Yeah, you can say that out loud. It features sniping and that was an exercise in frustration for me. I've never been a fan of dual-handed rifle handling in VR. Pretending to hold a long stick-like object with two floating hands just doesn't feel natural to me. I can't keep a steady line and miss more than I hit. I think it took me 10 tries to clear this mission, and that's on easy. There are 3 difficulties by the way, and I found easy challenging enough. No problem, but about right for me. Eventually I got better at sniping, but still not a fan. You can look proper through the scope by the way, the capture doesn't quite show that. But let me demonstrate my second major gripe throughout my playthrough next. Sometimes it will warp you out of VR, don't know how to describe it. The picture wraps around you and becomes sort of 2D-ish. The social screen wouldn't capture that, so what you just saw was an approximation with special effects. But that's kind of how it looks and it's rather disorientating. It happened to me a few times, so it's more frequent than I'd like. Music is occasionally great, by the way.
You seem hurt. Let me help.
That glitch usually happens when clipping into walls or the ground, if I remember correctly. The compositions are often too short and loop endlessly, but there are some genuinely great tracks in this game. Oh, and what I just said about this strange warp out of VR glitch, come to think of it, it also happened a couple of times in Cave Digger 2 to me, so maybe it's a general PSVR2 glitch that needs to be patched out and not this game's fault? Have you experienced it? Leave a comment. Another intense firefight on a beach.
Mr. Helga to the rescue.
Indeed, with her on the battlefield, you're practically invincible. Let's have some fun with grenades. This should be awesome. Ah, 3 in one sweep. Perfect. One more time. Oh, what the hell? Let's go crazy.
Let's open that door Emilio style. Tick, tick, boom. Time by.
We got here. You two daisy flowers didn't think it's gonna be that easy to you. Soldiers take their guns and lock them up like the dirty spy we
You can
captured.
lock us up, but you can never defeat the Captain Army.
So we find ourselves in prison and without weapons. How to escape? Good thing we have these prickly hands. Perfect for smashing locks. Who let the dogs out? Amazing, we can smash them into smithereens too. You will be looking for keycards often in the later chapters. They were kind enough to capture her too.
Let me heal your wounds, Cacti Soldier.
The horror. Why didn't he punch the lock? Well, good thing he didn't flush. The later indoor levels rely on keycards and locked doors, but map complexity and puzzle difficulty are kept to a minimum. It's all pretty straightforward, which I like. Locked and loaded, and another worm is a goner.
Almost got it.
There's actually a lot of cursing in this game, which fits the mood,
Yeah.
makes it all the more hilarious to me.
Oh, farts. Almost got it. Shit. Damn.
We need to get out of here, so it's time for some heavy guns. For some reason, you're not able to grab it by its 2 handles, which feels awkward. So I'm fumbling around a bit, quite a bit. Until I grab it with just one hand and mow them down like a badass. Yeah, actually kinda stylish. Wipe them out. All of them.
Soldiers, let the dogs loose and run them over with a tank.
Bring it on, motherfucker.
Oh, and I don't know about you,
Shoot a tank. Take cover.
but the voice acting is pretty good. For what I assume to be an extremely low-budget game, it certainly fits the atmosphere. Anyway, let's blow this big head in his tank to pieces. And let's talk about the smooth turning for a second. Because especially in crowded indoor areas, it isn't very smooth at all, unfortunately. Let's look closer. As you can see, it's pretty jittery. Granted, you usually don't stand in one place and spin around like a madman. But this is way below 60 FPS and very juddery. And ultimately my third major gripe with the game. Other scenes are smoother though. See? Better, but still not perfect. Why? The PS5 and VR2 have enough power to run this silky smooth. And another minor annoyance are some repetitive voice lines.
Get in. It's time for war, or do you want to live forever?
Okay, but let me just explore a bit more.
Get in. It's time for war, or do you want to live forever?
Hey, I heard you the first time. Give me some space.
Get in. It's time for war, or do you want to live forever?
Man, give it a break. I'm looking for medals, alright?
Get in. It's time for war, or do you want to live forever?
Fine, just for the sake of you shutting up, I'll get in now. The medals I mentioned, the game's collectibles. 36 of them littered throughout the maps. Apparently there's a horde mode, but I couldn't find it. If you know something, let me know. Another good example for the actually decent mission variety. Here we are on the back of a truck and have to dispose of our pursuers. Sometimes they'll die in slow-mo, sometimes not. I couldn't really see a pattern there. As long as they do die, it's all the same to me. In comes the cavalry, or in this case, the Cacti Air Force. Bombs away. You'll also fight a handful of giant bosses, which for the most part are just blown-up versions of regular enemies. Still, a towering sandworm is a sight to behold. Sort of, I guess. The same goes for this humongous bee. I think the flickering of your gun and the enemies really distract from the action. This is the single thing that annoys me the most in this game. The warp out glitch might be a general PSVR2 issue, so fair enough.
Cool. I made it.
More variety in the form of rope climbing. Again, no call of the mountain, but cool.
Hurry up, cowboy. Old Squeezemaker has quite a head start.
I want you guys to hop on the next transport plane and help Private Prickly with his mission. According to reports from our outposts, he should be about 100 clicks north of this airport. So, head over to Hangar 2 and take your flight. I don't want you to lose any time. This mission could be easily end the entire war.
We're on our way, sir.
And here we go, heading off into the sunset and final battle. Oh wait, that's not us. Since I mentioned Horizon Call of the Mountain, when I think about it, even in that clearly AAA game, the smooth turning when spinning around in one place isn't all that perfectly smooth. So I wonder if that as well is more of a general PSVR2 issue, like a kink that will be patched out at some point as the hardware is still brand new. So maybe only one of my three major gripes is valid, and the game can't be faulted for the other two, who knows? Completing a minor fetch quest.
Good. This looks like a fitting propeller. I'll try to repair the plane. Just give me a second, will you?
Nothing fancy and very infrequent, but it seems this game has it all. The variety is welcome and the dialogue.
Let's see. Where would this thing go?
What do you mean, where would it go? Have you been watered with Brondu or something? Here goes nothing. Yeah.
Can be rather hilarious at times. Bon voyage, Emilio. See you on the ground. Okay, my turn. Wait, where's my parachute? More locale variety. A farm at night time. But war never changes.
This fucker wanted to take my farm, so I chopped his head off. Do not fuck with me.
I hear you, man. Nice night for fishing. And shooting bugs. Or whatever these kamikaze big birds are supposed to be, actually. It's difficult to tell.
Can you please be quiet? I'm trying to catch fish.
Well, good luck with that and make a good catch. We're fighting for our lives here, if you don't mind. Another fun little mission.
Tell to pick up the next bomb.
Blowing up the enemy's tanks. The developers, or should I say developer, really knew how to keep things quite varied in his game.
Fire in the hole.
Oh boy, this should be good. 1, 2,
Happy New Year,
3,
motherfuckers.
4,
It's beautiful.
5, 6.
Those bugs can suck our dick. Let's raid another base.
A god must have forgotten its key card on the loop.
figures. Wait, a candy factory?
I hope this elevator is approved by the Cactus Safety Organization.
Are you cigar and lollipop?
Look at those things. I'm a bit amazed by the technology. I wonder if they even work.
Well, they won't after a sweet, sweet grenade. I knew this was no ordinary candy store. Serves them right.
Cactigrad is under siege. That's not good.
Holy shit! I blew that house into smithereens.
Another fun little mission. This time you have to keep the civilian transport from getting overwhelmed. You even get to reload this stationary machine gun. I'm generally surprised by the quality of the gunplay, though it's obviously no Pavlov.
Cactigrad for Cacti.
Time to smoke out these bugs. You get the flamethrower pretty late in the game and it's not all that powerful, but a welcome addition for sure.
That is a good idea.
House clear. Let's move on to the next building.
And as hinted on earlier, this game was developed by just one guy, so props to you, Mr. Lauert, and keep on rocking! So on to the scorecard. I give this game, wait for it, 3.5 out of 5 Cactus Cowboys. Honestly, this is competent, and I'd probably give it half a point more if this annoying enemy and gun flickering when hit wasn't present. And while overall variety is respectable, I do feel this game drags on for maybe an hour or so too long. Kinda like my lengthy review video, lol. But to answer the initial question, yes, I think you should play this. It's for free and good, so give it a shot.
And that's a wrap. Hope to see you around on this channel and have a great day. Joe, signing off.